tells me Robert Williams is in for an interesting evening. All set to go then for the Southern Area welterweight title. A belt incidentally won by none other than Lloyd Honeyghan back in 1983. And it's a belt that Chaz Symonds knows well, because he's already had it round his waist once. He was the former champion way back in 2004 as a 22-year-old. Beat Brett James to take the title, then lost it to Ross Minter, the son of Alan. And he's back now to try and regain it against Gavin Tait, who in some senses is drinking at the last chance saloon, really. 35 years old, Tait. This is his last shot at the big time.
I tell you, Phil, the intro just took my breath away. The excitement in the arena is belted up so much. You can tell both boys are desperate to win this title.
Well, it's real bragging rights as well as a belt at stake here. They promised to go at it toe-to-toe. Bearing in mind it could go 10 rounds, they might just try and rein it in a little bit.
Interestingly, Gavin Tait has started off on the front foot. Symonds is trying to pick his shots off on the defence.
There's plenty of backing for both men. It's a really raucous atmosphere.
Interestingly, you know, Chaz Symonds had a couple of years away, come back with a little points victory to set him up for this title chance. Last night we had Robert Lloyd Tait step in at late notice and win prize fighter. And that's a man Chaz beat. So I'm sure that must have given him a lift today. Man, that a former opponent that he had beaten. Won and one prize fighter, Phil, so.
Talking of former opponents, Gavin Tait's been in the ring with Frankie Gavin, no less. Didn't do terribly well, it has to be said. Probably the biggest blot on his copybook, a first-round knockout against the up-and-coming Gavin. But just goes to show that both men have been in with some big names.
Good right hand there from Tait. Yeah. Symonds took it well. Good right hand.
They're screwing up now.
So this took a fight in a telephone box, and I said it off air. I tell you, I feel like this is going to be a real tough contest to score.
Symonds just bulldozing his way. Trying to push Tait back and getting some of his own medicine now. It's just degenerating a little bit towards the end of the first. But as a taster, not bad.
I tell you, Phil, a bit of cornermen can't hear themselves think the noise in here.
Well, it just emphasises the beauty about coming to one of these small hall venues. That was the right hand of Tait, which landed sweetly on the temple. But Symonds soaked it up well. But far better to have a fight and a card in an arena that is absolutely rammed, packed to the rafters, than a big, half-empty stadium. Final words for Gavin Tait, whether he heard them or not, is a moot point. So Symonds, the former champion in black and gold. Tait, the veteran, if you won't mind me calling him that. Originally from Wales, now fights out of Sheerness in Kent. Wearing the white trunks with the black tassels.
Certainly boxing at a frantic pace, both men. Symonds just can't seem to get his distance. Gavin Tait's been the aggressor, falling all over him. Good right hand there from Symonds over the top. Tait took it well. Side of a left hook. Good uppercut there though. From Tait on the inside. Again, that right hand again.
It's a real old scrap, this one. Tell you what, people outside the ring are getting just about as animated as those inside it as well.
Certainly nip and tuck. Good. Symonds turns well there.
Turning really nicely.
I say Gavin Tait is boxing out of his skin. Boxing really well.
Tait claims he's been training for this one like he's never trained before. Been in the gym for a solid 7 weeks, 3 times a day. Knows really this could be his last tilt at the big time. Could even be his last fight if it goes the wrong way. He may just call time, although he's always said he would only give up when training became a chore. But the clock is ticking at 35 years of age.
But he's in tremendous shape, Phil. No Chaz Symonds is, but for a 35-year-old man, Tait looks in brilliant condition.
Symonds, incidentally, 6 years his senior. His junior, rather, 29. There, Rob Williams just restoring a bit of order. You see how close he's having to get to make himself heard. It just goes to show how noisy it is inside the Coronet Theatre at the Elephant and Castle. Symonds bounds back to his corner. And the good news is we've only had 2 of a possible 10 rounds, so plenty more entertainment to come.
Thing is, Phil, can they keep this pace up for 10 rounds?
Well, to be fair, in all the build-up, both men said they didn't actually expect it to go 10 rounds, simply because they're both offensive front foot fighters. It was expected to be a bit of a slugfest.
Corners, 10 seconds. Seconds out, round 3.
Just looking back through their records, both men have only gone 10 rounds once before, actually, in their careers. So it'll be interesting to see how deep we go into this one. Remember, it's the vacant Southern Area welterweight title belt at stake.
The thing is, Phil, you know, the winner of this contest will straight away be nominated for the British title, so the stakes are really high.
Well, I know Symonds in the build-up was saying he was after Lee Purdy, who we saw win the British belt over Craig Watson.
So that's one fighter who's probably got the most improvement in the country. Tremendous win, beating Watson. Then he repeated it in his defence, so proved it was no fluke. So both boys here tonight know the stakes are really high. But as you said, the bragging rights from where they come from. I'll tell you, both boxers won't give an inch. It's a really tough contest. It's better from Symonds having a bit more success.
Might be in Symonds' interest here just to slow things down a little. If Tait's age is to be a factor at all, that's likely to be in the later stages, so Symonds might be advised to just take his time a bit here.
It's interestingly, the patterns been the same from round one. You've got Gavin Tait dictating with his jab. Symonds having to fight off the back foot.
Well, Tait's taken the centre of the ring right from the start. And as Mickey alluded to earlier, it's a very small ring. But that's Tait's territory at the moment, so Symonds having to work round the outside for the most part.
Having a good spell, he is.
Yeah, Tait warming to the task again.
Symonds is badly cut under the right eye.
Yeah, it was a little nod from Symonds there.
Oh, good right hand.
Oh, that's a terrific shot, and Symonds is down, and he's in trouble here. Former champion he may be, but he's looking to his corner for inspiration, and Gavin Tait.
I said the bell has saved him.
Well, Tait was just about to move in for the kill, but there is some serious work to be done in that corner now. You can see Symonds wincing with pain as they get to work on that cut underneath his right eye.
That's a really bad cut. It was the uppercut that done it. Here's Tait back up with that big right hand, about to come over. There it is there, boom. So that was a heavy shot. Symonds done well to get on his, but I tell you, that's a bad cut.
The only thing in his favour is that it's below his eye, but even so, it's going to swell up and it might make it difficult for him to see out of.
Second out, round 4.
Interesting, actually, that it was Gavin Tait who was badly cut in his last fight. Clash of heads with Danny Donchev in a rematch fight. That one had to go to the scorecards after an accidental clash.
Symonds got hit with a right hand before the first 3 seconds. But he's coming firing back, Symonds. You know, he's Symonds' the only way to take the play away, to be aggressive himself. He can't go on the back foot.
Gavin Tait just trying to size up the situation. Just wonder how much that cut is playing on Symonds' mind. He's got to battle his inner demons as much as his opponent now.
That's good boxing for him, Symonds. He's going to have to try and box himself back into this. Left hook. He's got to be careful. He's hanging his chin up in the air. Gavin Tait is walking him down.
Yeah, Tait's having
he's got to be careful
here. Symonds' defence is opening up.
He's being really brave, Symonds. I don't know if that's the right strategy. He's getting caught with big shots.
Well, he likes to go by the name of Pretty Boy as well as the bomb. Chaz Symonds, his face isn't looking too pretty now. He's taken some really good shots already tonight, and you sense there's more to come from Gavin Tait.
But you know, he's Symonds. He's got so much courage and bottle.
Well, he's not going to roll over, that's for sure.
I'll be saying it all night. The problem is when you're boxing the back foot, 2 steps, your back's on the back rope. Good shots from Symonds on the back foot there. Good left hook from him.
Nice,
he's done well this round so far.
A couple of nice shots to the body as well from Symonds. He's trying to vary it, trying to claw his way back after.
The only thing is I know I said it earlier, he's going one way. He's got to change direction.
Must have been a real shock to the system for him in round 3, but saved by the bell perhaps. He's come out and made a pretty good fist of it in this 4th round, all things considered. still looks fairly fresh for the moment.
So Symonds done brilliant this round. He's trying to take a player away from Tait.
Yeah, really has hauled himself up by his bootlaces here, Chas Symonds. Well, the bomb is still ticking, that's for sure. Well, we promised you entertainment, and I think so far it's delivered. It was never going to be a quiet affair, never going to start shadowboxing these two, were they?
Till the build-up's been explosive. The fight has lived up to its explosiveness. You know, this Symonds, he done well that round because that was a real big heavy knockdown round before. And when he first come out in the first 10 seconds, he got hit with another good right hand. This shows how fit and strong he is.
Well, he said he lost several years of his boxing career to girls and nightclubs. But he told us beforehand that he was back and he meant business this time, and he's obviously in pretty good shape.
Well, he's got to be, you know, to get up from a shot like that. He's always been a real character. And he's going to show plenty of that tonight. He wants to win that title. Gavin Tait is probably a couple of rounds up with that knockdown.
Another former junior ABA champion, Chas Symonds, so has some boxing skills to draw on. But it's almost as much about courage as skill now for him.
Good little shot from him, little 1-2. Got through the guard of Tait. Good shot from him again.
Yeah, Symonds getting through with the left hand now, and Tait just beginning to...
Oh, he's wobbled him again. Tait's wobbled him again. His legs buckled a little bit, Symonds again.
It's a really brutal encounter, this one. Not for the faint-hearted. Tait tries to gather himself for another assault, but Symonds is...
Down a good defence there on the back foot. That was a big right hand that Tait through.
A little bit of a spring back in his step though, Symonds now. The occasional wry grin on his face. He was looking in a bad way at the end of round 3, but has Chas Symonds weathered the storm?
So the tempo slightly dropped, Phil. I think it's been at a frantic pace. Going Tait.
Just a little bit of blood, perhaps from Tait's nose.
He's got to be careful, Chas. That's the second time he's been warned for infringements. Next time he'll have a point. Then it will be an uphill battle for him. He's already got enough on his plate.
Both men having to dig deep in the 5th there. And a welcome 60-second break now. Both corners getting to work on cuts. Definitely a nick for Tait, as well as that badly cut eye of Chas Symonds. Be a real shiner in the morning, that one. But he won't care if he's got a title at the end of it all. Just wonder how good his vision is out of that right eye.
Corner 10 seconds.
Swelling doesn't seem to be too bad.
No, the corner have done a really good job on that field, because that was really bad earlier.
Round 6.
Just goes to show the merits of having good cornermen at your disposal. Can make all the difference in a fight. And just a reminder, it's Symonds in the black trunks, Gavin the Governor Tait in white.
Oh, Symonds just southpaw there. Again, that jab from Tait, getting through. Good little right over the top though from Symonds.
So far it's been a
right
test of character, this. Left that got through from Symonds by way of return though. There'll come a point when it just tilts the balance and it'll be less a test of character and more a test of stamina, this one. Into the second half now of a scheduled 10. Whether it can go the distance remains to be seen, but both men now just feeling the pressure a bit.
So it's a brilliant fight, Phil, isn't it? Both men are giving everything they've got.
Well, sometimes you get a lot of pre-fight talk and a lot of hype, and the main event turns out to be a damp squib. Not so tonight. More blood now from Tait's left eye, perhaps. Either that, it's spreading from the earlier cut. Slight clash of heads there as well, which won't help the situation.
Yeah, Tait's cut above his left eye.
So both men bearing the scars of battle already.
That would be the worst one, because that blood will run into his eye, impair his vision. He's got to be careful there, Symonds, with his elbow.
As I mentioned earlier, Tait's last fight was
he's
ended
cutting the right eye as well.
With cuts.
Symonds cutting the right eye.
Whether his face is.
His both eyes have cut, Phil.
Yeah, he's in trouble here, I think, Gavin Tait.
That's a bad cut, that left one as well. But he's trying to get his jab off.
He may even be cut above and below the eye.
Both the eye. I tell you, both men have certainly got the... Oh, good shot from Symonds.
Yeah, Symonds has got renewed vigour now. I think you can see that there might be the finish line in sight. Tait's in trouble. He's wiping the blood away from his eyes as he's trapped in the corner there, and the referee's going to have a look at this. Gavin Tait is in big trouble here. There are some serious cuts to his face, and I think we may need the doctor to check whether this fight can continue.
That would be such a shame, this fight's called because of the cuts.
But you could see in that last flurry, Tait was trapped in the corner and he was literally rubbing the blood away as his opponent was on top of him.
I tell you, there's a lot of conferring going on it, Phil.
Experienced referee.
He's going to continue, but I tell you, them cuts are awful. They're really bad, Phil. His corner work. They're going to have to repair them.
Maybe that was the only saving grace there, that they knew the bell was coming. They're going to give the corner a chance, but my, have they got some work to do here. They're still working on the damage to Symonds as well, but it's in the opposite corner where Gavin Tait's men are really having to work hard now.
He's cut both eyes.
Yeah, he looks in a bad way, Gavin Tait. I don't think this is going to go too much further.
It would be such a shame if that was to happen, Phil. It's been such a brilliant contest.
Corners.
I think Symonds has got a new lease of life. He's jumping and bouncing about in between the rounds. He's ready to go.
7.
Well, the seconds in the Tait corner are literally taking every second they can to get treatment to those terrible looking cuts. And Chaz Symonds, well, if you'll forgive the pun, he really is scenting blood now. He can see it, and he can certainly sense that victory might not be too far away. A victory which really didn't look on the cards when he was down on the canvas at the end of round 3, and just grateful for the bell to give him a breather. But he's turned things around now.
That eye is seeping blood. Good right hand now on the back foot from Tait. Symonds really fancies the job now. I know all Satterfield, this is, you know, I go along with rugby, but this is such a tough sport. And both men have got to be commended on the performance they put on tonight. Good shots there from Symonds, getting through.
Yeah, Tait's hanging on gamely.
Seems like Gavin Tait just seemed to lost his momentum a little bit ruffled.
Well, you fear for him every time they come together. There's any kind of a clash as well.
It seems like Symonds in there steady the pace a little bit, it suits him better.
You can see his white trunks are now dotted with red as the blood drips down from those cuts above and around his left eye in particular.
Nice jab again there, and Tait trying to get his jab off. That's been his best weapon in this fight. Oh, good right hand from him.
Well, he's still giving it everything, Gavin Tait, and great credit to him for that.
Got to be careful, the head's referee here. Oh, big right hand from Symonds.
Shot from Symonds, yeah. That will wreak more havoc in the area of those cuts.
At least his vision ain't been impaired. Tait's.
Well, now it's Rob Williams having a very close look whenever he can.
Again, nice little left hook there from Symonds.
It's the cut on the right eye now, which is opening up again. And that's the problem for Tait, with cuts around both eyes. He's really got no way of defending himself just on one side. Like
he's finishing
Symonds
the round well though, Tait. He's finishing the round really well.
Extraordinary scrap. Well, they promised a battle royal, and they are not failing to deliver.
I noticed referee Bob Williams was concerned. Then cuts, he's asked the referee. Sorry, excuse me, sorry, I'm getting carried away. He's asked the doctor to keep an eye on them cuts. That's one thing that's great about the British Boxing Board control. The safety is paramount for all boxers. And that's why we've got the best governing body in the world, I'm proud to say. But getting back to the contest, this has been truly amazing. It certainly deserves top billing.
Seconds out, round 8.
Both men are in tremendous conditioning.
Well, if they can both stand it, there are 9 minutes to go. 3 more scheduled rounds to determine the Southern Area Welterweight Championship.
I know he's still got 3 rounds to go, but I think this is the kind of contest got rematch written all over it, Phil. Nice little uppercut there from Symonds. He's quite clever with that shot.
I don't think he'll get away with the headlock, mind.
So the corner have done a brilliant job with them cuts.
Yeah, at one stage it really did look curtains for Tait.
They've certainly kept him in the fight. That was a slip.
Couple of press-ups to prove he's okay. No surprise, we get a few theatricals in the theatre.
I said to you, he's a character. The spot was missed him.
Tait caught him there. He thought there was a little break in proceedings. Maybe a cheeky little left.
I feel some of these rounds are so difficult to score.
Both boxers being urged on by their supporters. It's a real cauldron here inside this arena. And you still can't be sure which way it's going to go.
So Symonds showing good defensive skills. Gavin Tait looking to box and get his jab going. Oh, good left hook.
Oh, they didn't hear the bell there amid the noise. I don't think there was anything malicious there. It was simply a case of they were so absorbed in the contest they did not hear the bell. Well, 8 down, 2 to go. Time for everyone to just take a breath, compose themselves.
Can Tait finish well here? We're finishing in part of the round.
As you say, it's just a miracle that Tait's still in there. I saw those cuts a couple of rounds ago. It looked like curtains for him, but Cornerman has done a terrific job. Who knows, may see him all the way through to the end of the schedule 10.
Second round, round 9.
Seems to wipe away a little bit of the grease. Well, I'll tell you what, whoever eventually does lift this belt tonight, it'll have been very hard won indeed. Don't forget, if you've got time, you can still send us your views, message us via YouTube or get in touch via Twitter using the hashtag HattonTV.
Oh, good shot there from Symonds on the back foot.
This is live boxing at its very best.
We're going to go a long way to see a better contest than this one, Phil. Both boys have been absolutely awesome throughout the contest.
Shout to Gavin Tait, who's boxed him, because certainly in the early stages he was having more joy by exercising his boxing skills.
That's what he's good at, Phil. He's good at getting his jab off. A little sharp right hand.
Amazing how the pendulum has swung first one way then the other in this contest. is there yet to be a final decisive change of direction. Tait trying to get things going his way, pushes Symonds back. Symonds responds with
Tait's having a good round here, Phil. In all fairness, Symonds can't believe he's still here. And that heavy knockdown shows how much courage and willpower he's got, and his fitness levels.
Tait looking towards the referee as he was bulldozed across the ring by Chas Symonds. He may just need to be careful, doesn't want to get a warning at this stage. That could make all the difference in a tight contest. He's been spoken to a couple of times by the ref already.
That's a good point, that, Phil, because you can tell. Oh, good shots. Oh, good
and he
right hand.
took a big right there, did Symonds.
He took it. He's hung on. There's that courage I was talking about. He's got so much bottle, Symonds.
Well, to be fair then, both men took a good shot in the space of a couple of seconds.
Gavin Tait has got his composure back.
Cuts opened up again though on Tait's right eye. He's made it through to the end of the ninth though. Well, this is some fight, this is some atmosphere, and it's some climax to the evening's proceedings. "27 minutes of non-stop action so far between two men who are quite clearly determined to walk away the winner. Only one can, unless of course it's a draw. And you wouldn't bet against that at the moment. Brilliant, brave stuff.
I'll tell you the words, courageous, Phil. Both men are putting a tremendous show for us.
10 seconds.
And both boys will wake up tomorrow with real wills of battle.
Well, look at the spirit between the two men. A warm embrace, and now they'll try and knock 7 bells out of each other.
That's what I love about this sport. They've hammered each other for 9 rounds, and you come out and give your opponent a cuddle. Doesn't happen anywhere in any other sport field, does it? That's why this is the toughest sport in the world. And we've got 2 gladiators in front of us here, vying to win the Southern Area welterweight title.
Well,
They've done everyone proud, their families, their friends, their trainers. It's been a real credit for that belt and professional boxing.
They've certainly got a lot of respect for each other now, if they didn't have beforehand, in a sense, despite some of the bravado that they did. Because at any stage tonight, well, there's been a couple of times when either man could have just said, that's it, that's enough, I'm out of here. But neither man has done so. They've both come back for more, they've both dished it out, they've both soaked it up. And it is boiling up to some conclusion now, this one. You almost wish it could go 12 rounds rather than 10. But it has to end in the next 100 seconds or so. Who wants it the most now? Tait in white, Symonds in black. Tell you what, this contest is anything other than black and white. It's very, very grey around the edges.
The Ryan Epperson got through. Tait took it well. Nice jab there from Tait.
Well, the scorecard's going to make interesting reading. I think you'd have got fairly long odds on this one going the distance, but unless something special happens in the next half a minute or so, it's going to do it. Symonds is still trying to finish it. Tait looks just for a moment to be out on his feet. Really digging deep now into the last reserves of energy.
interestingly, he said it, Phil, I've got a bit of a boast. I said to Graham, the cameraman, he said, what do you reckon? I said, this will go 10 rounds. I think both boys really matched. And Symonds has just come back up to 2-year out. He's done tremendous. Gavin Tait is boxed out of his skin.
Great testament to their fitness as well as their courage, of course, this. And what a contest! What a contest! And it's Tait who gets it. What a finish! Well, raw emotion at the end. The joy, the elation for Gavin Tait is mirrored in the disappointment for Chas Symonds. So close to victory, particularly when those cuts opened up, and Gavin Tait really looked as though he was at death's door in terms of this contest, but he somehow hauled himself back from the brink and turned the fight around and got the verdict in the end. Tait, remember, did score the only knockdown of the 10 rounds. That was early on in the fight when things were going very much his own way, but it ebbed and flowed all night long.